When was the zipper invented? And the chewing gum, what's the origin of that? These are 9 everyday things and their unbelievable origin. For number 1, let's begin with the origin of the toothbrush. Back in ancient civilizations like Egypt and Mesopotamia, people used chew sticks made from twigs to clean their teeth. Later that evolved into animal hair or bamboo bristles, and their handles were made of bones. It wasn't until China came into play in the 15th century that toothbrushes became what we know and love today. Thank God I'm not brushing my teeth with bones. At least I hope not. And now, what we all love, potato chips. They were created by a chef in New York named George Crumb in the 19th century. He had a customer who kept sending his fries back because he wanted them thinner and crispier. So, George was getting frustrated and sliced the potatoes super thin and fried them until crispy. And that's when crispy potatoes were born. And for another food invention, let's talk about gum. Believe it or not, the act of chewing gum comes back to ancient times, where civilizations were chewing on different substances, being tree resin one of them. However, it wasn't until the 19th century that Thomas Adams popularized chewing gum with chicle, a natural gum from Central America. And I want to know what are your favorite gums, so tell me in the comments. And for the last fact about food, let's see what's the origin of coffee. Coffee came originally from Ethiopia, when a goat herder discovered coffee's energizing effects, because his goat started to get energetic after eating coffee berries. How do you even notice if a goat is energetic or not? And now, let's leave the food section and go for fact number 5. Did you know Post-it was an accidental discovery? In 1968, Spencer Silver, a 3M scientist, tried to create a strong adhesive but ended up doing the opposite. He created a weak and reusable one. Silver initially had no idea what to do with his discovery, but years later another 3M scientist, Art Frey, came to him with the idea to create a bookmark that could stick to paper without damaging it. Eventually, that bookmark became the Post-it note. If you enjoyed this accidental invention, you sure will love our video about the most famous accidental inventions. For number 6, I'm going to tell you the origin of the slinky. Richard James was the creator of this invention. He accidentally knocked over a tension spring, watching it walk down a set of books and realizing its entertainment value. And since we're talking about toys, how did you think rubber ducks were created? The first rubber duck didn't float. They were cast solid and they were actually intended as chew toys. But they eventually developed into what we know today, and even though most duck figures aren't even made of rubber but yet vinyl, we still call them rubber ducks. Next up, paper clips. Historically, references describe fastening papers together as early as the 13th century. People put ribbons through parallel incisions in the upper corner of pages. Later, people started to wax the ribbons to make them stronger and easier to undo and redo. This was the way people clipped papers together for the next 600 years. But the paperclip that we know today is thanks to Johann Waller. He was the first person to patent his design. However, it could have existed other designs before him. And for the last one, let's find out the origin of the zipper. In 1893, Whitcomb Judson patented the clasp blocker to help with fastening shoes. It wasn't immediately successful, but around the 20s, it started to be used in clothes and luggage. The name zipper came from Goodrich Company, based on the sound zipper made when used. I don't really know where they hear that sound, but now you can say, now I know.